Good morning. My name is Celina Guerra-Martinez, and I've been with Vector Control for 6.5 years. I have an assigned area in Oakland where this information is regularly shared with tenants and landlords. I must add that in my area, all this good advice is also regularly challenged. My topic today is non-chemical control for bedbugs. This information may be relevant to this group so that you are informed as to what may be expected if you find out your clients do have bedbugs. Although our first concern is not to get ourselves infested, it is important to know what people who have bedbugs must go through to eliminate them. Delays in treatment become a greater problem since each time the individual goes out in public, there is a chance of spreading them. On this slide, you see a mattress sprayed with a warning. This is not the ideal way to deal with an infested item, but I guarantee I have seen plenty in the streets in my assigned area, most even without the courtesy notice. I will present information in a progressive manner during the next 30 minutes, and it is my sincere hope that with more knowledge, bedbug elimination will not seem so daunting. In this presentation, I'm going to mention some tactics that don't work since people can get ideas from the internet and friends or just don't understand the thoroughness required for complete elimination of bedbugs. I will mention some non-chemical options. I will present several slides showing the diligence and perseverance necessary to get control of bedbugs, whether or not chemicals are used. I will summarize these steps and procedures, and I have compiled a list of some incidental expenses that need to be considered. Here are some ineffective tactics that I have actually seen. Number 1. Placing bowls under bed legs with various substances such as tea tree oil, Murphy's soap, or kerosene. These products will kill bedbugs, but there is nothing magic about them. Soap and rubbing alcohol also kill them. The climb-up interceptors that Mr. West mentioned are simple and safe versions of this idea. 2. Double-sided tape placed around bed legs may delay the bedbugs getting to you, but lint and not applying it adequately may render this ineffective. These two tactics are not for control but may buy some time while treatment is scheduled. 3. Leaving home. There is a fair possibility bedbugs will spread to that household as well. How many of you would be gracious enough to allow your friend or family member to take temporary refuge in your home? On the contrary, individuals with bedbugs may consider limiting having company or visiting others temporarily. 4. Heat. I have encountered tenants who have tried to eliminate bedbugs by turning up their heaters and using additional heating systems. This may be the reason an upper unit soon had bedbugs as well. If the temperature does not reach lethal degrees, the discomfort bedbugs feel may encourage them to move through wall crevices. 5. Keeping lights on will not keep cockroaches, rodents, the boogeyman, or bedbugs away. It is not the darkness that makes them active, but rather your body's heat, pheromones, and exhaling CO2 that attracts them mainly at night. 6. Sleeping in a different room may result in temporary relief while the bedbugs find you, but in the process of fleeing, bedbugs may now be spread to more areas and will expand the infestation area. 7. I have met so many people that have discarded infested items such as a sofa or mattress. This may reduce the number of bedbugs biting temporarily, which brings you satisfaction, but if additional measures are not taken, it will be futile and a delay in real treatment. Many times a new mattress is brought in only to get reinfested as well. 8. Studies have shown that leaving plastic-wrapped items in the sun or a hot car during the summer most likely will not reach the lethal temperature to kill bedbugs. Bedbugs are sensitive to slow rising temperature, and they can move to a location within a plastic bag that is cooler. 9. Bedbug bombs are advertised for killing bedbugs and seem simple and economical to use, but they do not reach the areas where most bedbugs, or cockroaches for that matter, are hiding. Boric acid must be ingested to kill insects, and since bedbugs have sucking mouthparts and only feed on blood, this will not affect them. 11. There have been no sonic, electronic, or odors found to effectively repel bedbugs. Additionally, with any pest in the home, the aim is not to repel them, but rather to eliminate them. Now I will concentrate on what does work. The non-chemical control involves physical removal and using barriers, which, by the way, can be achieved by tenants, management, or homeowners. Various methods using thermal remediation require equipment and usually a licensed professional. Here is what can be done immediately upon finding bedbugs. The resident will need to begin sorting and organizing which items can be discarded and which need to be laundered. We recommend using plastic bags that can be sealed tightly to contain items that need to be moved. All clothing and bedding will need to be washed and dried on high heat and isolated in sealed plastic bags for a time. Vacuuming. I am aware that many individuals don't own a vacuum and should not borrow one if it cannot be thoroughly cleaned before returning. Purchase mattress encasements. Items that don't need to be washed and can be safely placed in a hot dryer for 20 minutes can be bagged and sealed. Sealing cracks and crevices to eliminate places bedbugs can hide. All these items involve some costs, and I will repeat these recommendations with visuals because it is essential as the first step in getting control and is actually part of the preparation in order for any treatment to be successful. Being organized and meticulous is a key for success in eliminating bedbugs. Consider using minimal clothing and bedding during this time to reduce the need to repeat the steps. Each pile or bunch of items that need to be removed should be bagged to prevent the spread of bedbugs. Consider that they may drop off items when moved down the apartment complex hall, in your car, or to another area of your home. Understandably, it may be a tough decision on what to keep and what not to keep. This is an instance where one party in the household wanted to clean up, but the other would not allow it. There are instances of hoarding or another disability that makes it difficult to do the work involved. Sometimes there is flat-out refusal to cooperate, believing management just needs to get treatment. Having an on-site laundry makes things easier. However, moving items and keeping the cleaned items isolated for a time need to be taken into consideration. Often, there are further obstacles if items need to be driven to a laundromat or if there is no space to securely store cleaned items. Management may be able to assist in providing a place to store bedbug-free items only. Being able to vacuum not only can remove many bedbugs quickly, but it also improves the ability to find bedbugs and treat more thoroughly. Bedbugs in vacuum parts and bags must be dealt with as well. Vacuuming up some talc, baby powder, or cornstarch periodically while vacuuming may serve as a means to suffocate the bedbugs since it can clog their breathing spiracles in the process. After vacuuming, the vacuum bag can be placed in a plastic bag and disposed of outdoors. Other parts should be washed or cleaned outside as well. As a reminder, bedbug clean is more intense than regular cleaning. Don't be like the cat in the hat who cleaned up one thing only to contaminate another. Mattresses can be vacuumed, scrubbed at the seams with a stiff brush, vacuumed again, and encased. There are special encasements that can be used both to entomb the bedbugs that may escape the cleaning and vacuuming. They also make it easier to see any new bedbugs that climb on the bed because they don't have any seams for them to hide in. Sealing cracks and crevices can be done before or after an infestation. If there are minimal places bedbugs can hide and reproduce, it makes it easier to spot them early on. If they are sealed in the cracks, they will eventually die since they cannot chew their way out with their sucking mouth parts, and they have weak legs and cannot scratch their way through. Now a licensed professional can complete the elimination. Here are various methods that are used that do not require chemicals. In this slide, I am mentioning these temperatures to support the reasons some of the methods of attempts to eliminate bedbugs do not work. Even at a high temperature of 113 degrees or as cold as 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it will take several hours or days to kill bedbugs. Therefore, the bag in the sun or hot car may not serve to kill the bedbugs. If it occurs to anyone to freeze bedbugs, most households don't even have the space or equipment to be effective. The tenant who tried to heat his house may have suffered some discomfort himself, but it did not resolve his infestation. Killing bedbugs effectively within minutes requires heat above 122 degrees or below 0 degrees. I will not go into great detail about these thermal methods. It is highly advised that a licensed professional handle the treatment since it involves equipment that must be handled appropriately. Heat treatment requires the occupant to leave the premises for almost an entire day while heating elements are placed and temperatures are monitored. The area is heated quickly and held at above 130 degrees for several hours. It then requires several hours to cool down before it can be safely reoccupied. Steam equipment can be used, but it is very labor intensive and care must be used to prevent the airflow from blowing bedbugs around, and the moisture may also cause mildew on fabric if held too long over an item. These are a few models that are not too expensive, but depending on the level of infestation, steaming has had limited success. I have not yet encountered the use of this method. The Crinite system uses patented equipment that produces snow using CO2 to freeze bedbugs where they are hiding. The snow is blown through a nozzle that requires the same patience and labor as steam equipment. Crinite Instant Freeze is pesticide-free, there are no residuals, and it provides for immediate reoccupation. There are some cautions and monitoring is required by the certified user. In conclusion, each situation should be evaluated before a treatment plan is selected. Depending on the site and infestation level, one method over another may be preferable. Certainly communication plays a key role. If there is a breakdown on any of the levels or steps, the treatment may not be successful and may cause delays and frustration, not to mention legal action. This shows a recap of the non-chemical control methods. 5 of these 8 steps can be implemented almost immediately. This chart is available as a reminder of the steps required to eliminate bedbugs. This is a table I compiled of some of the expenses I have found that are part of the bedbug control process. It has been estimated that it may cost an individual approximately $200 before you even call the professionals. This list was just estimated, knowing that people have to go to the laundromat. They may need change for their washer and dryer. Even 20 loads may be conservative based on some of the apartments that I have seen. At $3 per load, that would run $60. Bags for collecting and storing the items, depending again on how many items you have. I looked up some prices, and to do all this laundry, it could again cost $60. Some incidentals like alcohol and baby powder you may already have, or they're very inexpensive at any store. Encasements are your choice. Even after cleaning and vacuuming, for your own comfort, you may want to have the box spring and mattress covered. Depending on how many beds you have in the house, that's $100 per bed. Caulking and a caulking gun, very inexpensive but labor intensive to get all the cracks and crevices. Another difficulty has been disposal of large household items. That's why they end up in the street, because you have to consider the dumping fee, a minimal of $31, and if you have any large items, it may run $50 and higher. The transportation is also a problem, so a truck rental can easily cost $50. If you get help by family or friends, again, that care has to be given that you don't contaminate that vehicle or the person with bedbugs. A HEPA vacuum with a filter for allergens can run from $250 and up. A good quality steamer, depending on the model as well. If you get a good one that is handy to use, it may reach above $300 and higher. And the last two items, the heat and the freeze, are done by professionals, but just so you get an idea, versus the chemical treatment, I have heard from management or companies, landlords, that their quotes have been anywhere from 1,600 and higher, and the freeze treatment, just the equipment and the certification can run 945, and depending on the size, the labor will also reach probably into the thousands. Although we do not give legal advice on legal matters, the State of California Health and Safety Code has established that it is the responsibility of landlords to provide pest-free dwellings, and we do urge landlords to handle bedbug infestations promptly. In the meantime, the steps explained today will help to limit the spread. Unfortunately, there is no free lunch when it comes to bedbug control unless you are a bedbug. Lastly, I have listed some of the references used for this presentation. I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you.